Org.
It is 6:51. You're listening to Morning Edition. Next hour on Morning Edition, why legal experts say the new indictment of former FBI Director James Comey lacks evidence of a true criminal threat. That's in about 15 minutes on Morning Edition from the NPR and WNYC Newsroom. Upper 40s and sunny right now. Sunny and 65 on this Friday, May 1st. Then tomorrow, slim chance of mid-afternoon rain, mostly cloudy near 60, and then chance of rain overnight. And then Sunday, mostly sunny and 61 with strong gusting winds. So a cooler weekend. It is 6:52.
Another way to look at the jobs report.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Amazon Business, featuring smart business buying AI tools to help navigate business purchases paired with delivery options built for business. AmazonBusiness.com. And by Schwab. At Schwab, investors get choices ranging from self-directed investing to full-service wealth management all in one place. Learn more at Schwab.com.
From Marketplace, I'm Nancy Marshall-Genzer in Washington. First, starting next year, millions of Americans will be eligible for a matching contribution to retirement plans from the federal government. And President Trump signed an executive order yesterday to set up a government-run website to help people shop for eligible retirement accounts. Marketplace's Henry Epp reports.
This program was set up under a law signed by former President Joe Biden in 2022. The idea is to make it easier for lower-income Americans to save for retirement. Over 50 million workers don't have access to retirement benefits, according to the Pew Charitable Trusts. So starting in January, single workers with incomes below $20,500 can have their contributions to a qualified retirement plan matched by the federal government. The match maxes out at $1,000 with lower contributions for workers who make up to $35,000. President Trump's executive order creates TrumpIRA.gov, where those workers can see which plans qualify for the government match. The administration also plans to push for legislation that would make more Americans eligible for the program. I'm Henry Epp for Marketplace.
In just a week, we get the April jobs data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, a peek into how the labor market is playing out for employers, employees, and job seekers. We'll get the overall unemployment rate, of course, but we asked Marketplace's Carla Javier to consider the jobs report another way, looking at what it tells us not just about unemployment, but also underemployment.
Nobody at the BLS is asking workers straight up, are you underemployed? But as Lonnie Golden at Penn State points out, the Bureau does ask part-time workers
whether they were working part-time because they had been looking for full-time jobs but couldn't find full-time jobs, or if that they had their hours reduced below 35 hours.
Golden says tracking these part-time for economic reasons workers can be a useful leading indicator of future unemployment or job reductions. But these roughly 4.5 million people don't show up in the usual unemployment numbers because, well, they are technically employed. Instead, they show up in a category called U6. This category also includes the unemployed and what's called people marginally attached to the labor force.
People that have stopped looking for work, but have looked for work in the past and want a job and are ready to work.
That's Guy Berger at the Burning Glass Institute. He says for the past few months, U6 has hovered around 8%. But like the overall unemployment rate, it has generally ticked up over the last few years, which means
if you're somebody who's been unfortunate enough to either be entering labor market for the first time because you finished school or because you're one of the people that has been laid off, it's extremely tough.
And that's the low-hire part of the low-hire, low-fire labor market. I'm Carla Javier from Marketplace.
Let's do the numbers. The Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ futures are mixed in the 1 to 0.2% range, with the Dow up more than 100 points. The 10-year Treasury yield is down at 4.39%.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Progressive. Building a career is possible at Progressive Insurance, now offering virtual and hybrid employment opportunities with pathways for advancement. Learn more about available positions at careers.progressive.com. And by GEP. With GEP Key Agentic AI and GEP Smart Software, GEP is at the forefront in agentic procurement orchestration and autonomous supply chains. And by Amazon Business, featuring smart business buying AI tools to help navigate business purchases paired with delivery options built for business. AmazonBusiness.com.
Last year, more people left the U.S. than moved in. It's the first time that's happened in at least half a century. And 2026 is expected to see even more out-migration. Fewer immigrants means fewer workers paying taxes, building homes, growing food, and caring for an aging population. All that can have lasting effects on the economy. Marketplace's Kaylee Wells runs through some of them for us.
Victor Sanchez says ongoing ICE raids are hurting the Los Angeles economy.
A lot of the small business owners that we're talking to are reporting lower foot traffic, lower sales, more absenteeism from workers themselves, more pressure that they are facing in terms of making rent.
Sanchez leads an advocacy group called the Los Angeles Alliance for a New Economy. He says the city schools are taking a hit too.
In the school context, it's about a 4% drop in student attendance following the increase in immigration enforcement. Why that's important is because attendance is tied to school funding.
Fewer kids and desks means LA's public schools have lost more than $100 million this school year. And that's just in Los Angeles. Rebecca Shih, who leads the American Business Immigration Coalition, has been hearing from members all over the country, contractors in South Texas.
They have reported between 9 to 12 months delays in terms of home building.
Farmers in Idaho.
Crop productions are down 22% and milk productions are down 40%.
And thanks to a growing elderly population and a dwindling pool of immigrant healthcare labor,
elder care costs are rising 3 times faster than inflation.
This is not the U.S.'s first foray into mass deportation. The country kicked hundreds of thousands of people out in the 1950s, but that didn't affect the economy so much because back then the fertility rate was about double what it is now. So there was a steady supply of new, native-born American workers. Tara Watson, an economist with the Brookings Institution, says that hasn't been the case for a while.
The way that we have continued to grow as a society is that we've brought in more immigrants.
Watson says under current immigration policy, the U.S. isn't far from having a declining population.
We don't have this channel of people coming through the ranks in the working age population that are paying taxes, that are supporting Social Security and Medicare, and also that are available to do the work of caregiving.
Watson says the COVID pandemic proved that a year or two of slow or even slightly negative migration doesn't really hurt the economy. But if it lasts for 5 years or longer, that's when she'll get concerned. I'm Kaylee Wells for Marketplace.
Our executive producer is Nancy Fargali. Our digital team includes Antoinette Brock, Emily McCune, and Dylan Miettinen. Our engineers are David Schreck and Tessa Block. In Washington, I'm Nancy Marshall-Genzer with the Marketplace Morning Report from APM, American Public Media.